Okay, so we've not put out a video since January or maybe February, and that isn't for a lack of trying. Basically, we filmed a lot. We've at least got a couple of hours of footage of different, probably like April was when we picked up a camera again. Now we're in June. And we've basically just had a load of footage and then just haven't had the time to edit it, or we have had the time, we haven't prioritised it. And it gets to a point where there's a massive backlog of footage, and then it's not relevant anymore. Like the beginning of May compared to the end of May, everything's totally different in the garden. You just think, oh, so you overthink it, and then we've agreed to just draw a line under it and just start from scratch. And now we're at the point where the motivation for gardening has dipped because the weather's not been the best. We've made maybe a few mistakes. The mole has been in. The dog has been really irritating, like digging up holes in some of the beds for some weird reason. I actually think he's getting dementia or something. Do you not think? Anyway, he's like an old dog now and he's just doing weird things, bless him. Yeah, so the motivation is gone, and I thought, what better time to remake a video than on a day when you really can't be arsed.
It's as if someone shapes and prunes some of the secateurs or something, isn't it?
Hmm?
It's as if someone comes out and shapes and prunes some of the secateurs.
The garden fairies.
Cuts all the shoots off, so it's just flowers left.
I love honeysuckle.
Right, so we've had a lot of digging in the no-dig beds, ironically. It's definitely involving a mole, probably a dog following behind it, possibly a badger as well in some other parts. So I guess it's a kind of lesson learned. I've never gardened in the context of being surrounded by kind of farmland and agricultural land, and I don't know that's the cause, but I wonder if that's a different context. So what I'm doing with these no-dig beds is creating these immensely attractive, full of invertebrate life, worms and grubs, pockets that are just irresistible to moles. And I suppose it's an easier time here when the soil's not disturbed versus the kind of mass disturbance of the soil. But it's not something like rant on agriculture, it's just before it was surrounded by woodland, so different pests. So this is our dealing with a mole to the point it's a problem. So we can't really do much to stop the damage that's happened. We just have to re-sow the carrots and beetroot. They've taken the worst hit, and at least it's June, so there is actually time to do it still. We just have the carrots and beetroot ready in stages. Re-sow these in the ground, and also sow some backups in cells as well, and hopefully we get something. If it happens again, then I guess we're in July and it'll be pak choy or something that we end up with a lot of that we perhaps won't use as much of. Turnips, more purple top turnips.
So you can see the beetroot here, can't you?
Yeah,
they've come up, and then
all I can do today is re-sow stuff, and then long term I'm going to put chicken wire around the outside that kind of digs into the ground and goes under, and I hope that'll just make it more of a problem.
there it is. 2 nights ago, and then there was one over here, wasn't there? Oh, there.
Yeah.
You can see it's come up in this bed as well.
It's definitely a mole involved, but it looks like someone's digging in behind it.
What do you think? Is that our
I
dog?
think it's either our dog or a badger or both. So yeah, that's the mole.
I mean, it's just part of it, isn't it? Like you said, we're in the middle of a field,
Yeah.
so this is like a little refuge for wildlife. So
Yeah, it probably intensifies any kind of
Yeah.
damage like that. Whereas before, moles have just been a kind of thing that I've seen that has maybe affected lawns that I've never been bothered about, and that's been the extent of them. So I guess they're not really no-dig beds now; they're mole dug beds for a lot of them.
but that's okay.
I'm just guessing there's more invertebrate life here with all the stuff that's kind of rotting down in layers than there'll be in the field. It's probably more organic matter, and maybe it'll calm down. Maybe it'll just reach a peak, and then I'm not going to be putting as much compost or manure or rich stuff on a lot of them for a while. It was just that sudden influx maybe that. So what we'll do today is not really bother with this and look at other parts of the garden and focus on that. But it's not as disheartening. I guess I'm glad, I'm not relying on these carrots to not starve in the winter. They're just hobby carrots, really.
We're hobby growers, really,
Yeah.
aren't we? Until we got a land, we're hobby growers. Not really, but... Well, actually, yeah, because I guess we depend on the shops for food.
That's what I'd like to be self-sufficient.
This is supplement, isn't it? It supplements our diet, and it's more. That's what we were saying before on the first video we did, made when we rekindled the channel. That was the point. It's like whatever we're doing now is all just learning.
It is, and it's 10 years of gardening. I've never really had moles as a pest before. So now,
and you're almost guaranteed if we're buying land in the next 50 miles, we will.
Next to it,
yeah.
Or, forest, or again the other context was a very urban context. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I suppose the cities, there's probably not many moles around, are there?
Yeah, they're probably more. I don't know. I just feel that they're more kind of intensified into this small bit of land in the middle.
Yeah.
But lots of other stuff's doing well. So.
Let's have a look then.
Just gonna focus on that.
It's so bright. It smells lovely over here though. Okay. The roses, look, there's loads of them this year. Yeah. Okay, so what's done well?
I'm quite happy with the herb bed. It's been doing alright, nothing's destroyed it yet. It's I basically had a row of potatoes here last year, so the soil was quite heavily dug. And then this year I dug in 3 bags of sand. So we've got the clary sage, which just languished all winter in a small terracotta pot, and I'm pretty impressed it survived all that hard frost.
Yeah.
So we just stuck it in here, and now it's got root space. It's doing even better. Now, I don't know actually the details of what we grow it for or anything, but
it's because I like the smell of the essential oil. So I was like, I really want to grow clary sage.
It's just learn about different plants, not just necessarily directly edible. We've got some milk thistle, which I just put in from seed. Just put them in, and it's come up. It's
done really well.
As usual, the things you just forget seem to do well. Baby, and borage as well. Just nice to have it. There is one teasel there that just either self-seeded or I just stuck in. It's not really here for any reason than it's there. It'll be nice to have it on this big dried flower heads, but they're about in other parts. We've got burdock, which I grew from seed, which is obviously not something everyone would always want in their garden. It's an agricultural weed. We've got some thyme and rosemary in here as well, more traditional kind of culinary herbs.
Because we've got a rosemary and it had some weird root rot thing, didn't it?
Some disease on it. Well, the cutting of it survived and grown.
Yeah.
So we want to get a big one, and I think...
Is this yarrow? Sorry to interrupt.
No.
No, what's that? Chamomile?
I think it's that pineapple weed stuff.
Pineapple weed, oh yeah, of course.
Might be wrong on that, but... Yeah, this bed will be getting weeded. There'll be some sped up video of it, I'm sure. Yeah, the hope is to get like a large rosemary shrub, which will then grow over the path and be in the way.
That'd be nice though.
But worse problems to have. So I dug these beds just on a kind of whim. I was going to grow oats in that other bed. I ended up digging 2 of them, and I just put random seed in here to see what will happen. So I've got a row of peas. A lot of them are kind of saved peas. So there's a mixture of like purple sugar snaps and all sorts. Probably wasn't the best idea to mix them, but we'll see what comes up. I've got a load of kind of calendula put in next to them. You can see that starting to come up. And I've got some leeks I've scattered in as well, which have come up. I'll show you a close-up shot, because obviously just everything looks like green sticks over here. And then I did a row of chard, so you can, maybe this is close up a bit better, but you can see the leaves there. That's starting to come up. And then some quinoa, which I'll show a close-up of. You can see they look a lot like fat hen with those little like round globules on, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
That's one there. No. Yeah, that's one there. Coming up with the kind of long leaves. If you can just get a close-up of it, might be easier. There's been some mole and digging action in here. It's a recurring theme, but it's... like none of my oats have come up yet, and they've been in for almost a month, so I don't think they're coming up. I don't know if I'll bother with a crop, otherwise I might just put some red clover in and just keep kind of mowing it and just use it as a green manure and improve it. And then that back bed, I'm starting a kind of no-dig raspberry bed here. I actually don't mind what the mole's doing over here.
It's doing a bit of work.
Except one raspberry I put in that's dug up.
Oh.
And I've replanted on the molehill. But yeah, it's not quite as annoying. There's some mole action here as well. This bed's kind of like dried flowers was the theme of it. So there's a teasel there which wasn't planted on a molehill but now is. There are just wheat, again just for that dried flower, and then in the middle is a row of honesty. And I'll put another kind of grain in here. Again, it's just kind of dried winter flower arranging is the aim of it.
That's the thing.
It's coming away quite nice now.
Your garden should work for you, you know? It's not like on a lot of people's lists, is it? Doing a patch of stuff that just looks nice as dried flowers, but it's something we enjoy. Yeah, potatoes.
So, I guess, you know, the perennial beds, even when they look like this, there's something coming up. So, something to weed around. I probably started planting these before I was really ready, just because I needed the space. But there is raspberries coming up there. The rhubarb's done, I think, well enough, establishing. And then up in this bed, done well. I was just thinning them out. We finished doing that today. They're just a bit thick now, so I just go through and take, you know, what I think will be enough space for a turnip to grow. So they may be a bit close together. Take those ones out. Turnips, and I'm really happy to see finally the ockers come up.
Oh yes.
I sat there for a month, like, how did I manage to kill like 10 of them? Surely one of them would come up out of 10.
How many have come up? Well, you've got a couple there.
There's
a few.
One there, that one's up now. They're actually
There is actually
enough to call it a row, and maybe
you
I'll
can
put
see it. They're all.
There's some calendula in between them. Just pretend we wanted to grow that amount of calendula. You know, a space filler. So again, that's not doing too badly, and it's just ticking away. Haven't done much maintenance to it. Again, it was dug first and then improved with biochar and bloodfish and bone. But now that's done, I don't see why we can't just kind of mulch them every year and kind of grow things into them.
That's the thing about the no-dig beds. It isn't like an instant. It looks really good, but it's a slow burner.
Our limitation is there isn't enough compost, and then it makes obviously direct seeding really difficult if you don't have that fine substrate, whatever it is. And I wouldn't really want to plant all these beds with plugs, because it means I've got to look after like thousands of seedlings that can die of dehydration in 3 hours if I don't pay attention. Whereas, you know, now this is established, it is quite resilient. So that is the, I guess, limitation, and why I might end up still, you know, needing to dig or to bring things in. I don't think it'd be worth the cost of bringing that amount of compost in. So
that's the thing.
Of the compost production.
I feel like this is like, you know, it doesn't look great, does it? You see it and it doesn't have that aesthetic appeal, but it's like the really cheap way of doing it, and actually just a cheap way of getting veg from your garden onto your plate. Whereas how many people, like, you know, do that classic thing, they order like a ton of compost, they do make raised beds, they, you know, I guess they make it all to last for the long term, but if you don't have that budget and you're just wanting to get some food on the table, this is like ideal. Literally just turn over a patch of your lawn.
Yeah, and it will look less rough as the leaves fill in. You don't see the soil or what's underneath it. Again, for me, I'm not like anti-digging. I know it isn't good for the soil.
Yeah.
I don't think, in my opinion, it's good for the soil long term, and it means a lot of inputs to replace that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have like healthy, biodiverse soil with lots of microbial life.
Is that a thing with a lawn though? Like, is your soil really healthy if it's a lawn? Surely.
I don't know the ins and outs of like the microbial community. I know that, well, I think tilling does quite a lot of.
As we look around the field.
I think it just changes the context of those microbes a lot more than even a lawn would. The lawn is still covered, and it isn't constantly disturbed. I mean, it isn't
I
like
guess,
natural,
yeah.
but I suppose a lawn has soil, it has microbes, it has fungus, it has roots in the soil, and that's an important part of it. Is the roots exchange with the bacteria for the nutrients. They exchange sugars and things like that they can't make. So when you've got a soil that doesn't have roots in, I think that, for me, again, in my opinion, would
I would agree with that.
again, I guess I don't want to be really dogmatic about how people do it,